What's going on, y'all? Come and check in with y'all 3 days late. I said I was gonna put another video out on Monday, but that didn't happen because of the security of a load that I had to pick up that I can't talk about. So I couldn't record any content for the past couple days. Monday I could have, but I was lazy. And then I've had to essentially go dark for these past couple days. But first things first, I just want to say I really appreciate y'all. You know, every one of y'all. I noticed that I got an email saying that I reached 200 subs. So I appreciate y'all. You know, organically raised 200 followers. And I guess because I have some knowledge or some information that y'all are seeking. But end all be all, I really appreciate y'all support. I hope y'all continue to support me, and I'll continue putting out a couple videos. I'm gonna try and become more consistent again, like I was trying to do a few weeks ago. But we're gonna work on that. But just wanted to say I appreciate every one of y'all for following my content, and we're gonna see how this trucking journey unfolds for me. But I came on here because, and this is the third time it's happened to me total, but the second time this week that this has happened. So we had a pretty good week, actually. Me and my co-driver, my student, ran roughly about 6,000 something miles. So we actually had a pretty good mileage week. We were pretty busy. He's currently taking a 34-hour he's taking a 34-hour reset, but for the sake of argument, what we're doing right now is called a rolling 34, where the co-driver is going to be taking a 34-hour reset while at least one of the drivers still has a couple hours to work with, in which that driver is me, so I still have a couple hours that I can work with. And I start getting my recaps back tomorrow night, and I have about 20 hours or so left on my 70. Well, my student's actually been putting in a lot of work lately this week, so he's down to 6 hours on his 70-hour clock, and he has no recaps coming back until Friday. I think it was Friday, but obviously his 34 will be done tomorrow, which would be Thursday. It'll be done tomorrow morning, so it made sense for him to go ahead and do a 34, and I was just gonna go ahead and do what I do. But once we delivered that last load, we were able to come up to the Petro here in Pennsylvania, and we really just we just been chilling. So we got here, there's no pre-plan or anything, because the end of the pay, for at least for Prime, the end of the payroll week is on Wednesdays, which is today. And so I really wasn't, I wasn't planning on, my original plan was for both of us to get 34-hour resets, and we'll just grab a load tomorrow. So we came up here to the Petro in Pennsylvania, and got parked, and sent my fleet manager a message like, hey, looking at our hours, think it'll be best to do a 34-hour reset for the both of us, more specifically for my student than me, but I think it'll make more sense to go ahead and get 34-hour resets completed, and then then we'll go from there. In which, actually, I believe I'm still gonna get a 34-hour reset.
You have 6 hours and 10 minutes of remaining drive time.
I gotta look up the last time I drove, because I believe before I leave, I'll get to that part for the story. Anyway, I thought it would be best for both of us to get 34-hour resets. That way we can start the new payroll week with fresh, two fresh 70-hour clocks, and run hard like we did last week. Now, so we came up here to the Petro. My original plan was, take showers, eat, and kind of like, chill out until, Thursday morning. But my fleet manager had other plans, which is fine, because I asked him if he had, anything, and he actually sent me a message and asked if we were able to repower. I believe this driver is on my board, or on our I believe we're on the same fleet manager, under the same fleet manager. But anyway, he asked me if I was able to, if we wouldn't mind repowering one of our drivers. I told him not a problem. I had the hours. you know, as long as the load that we're repowering, I would prefer it to be, you know, like a solo load. So he hit me back, gave me some details. You know, load's going, you know, 400 miles. It's paying, you know, about a little bit above $2 a mile. You know, you just really be helping us out if you know, repower. So I took, you know, did my little quick trip plan without having the full load information, but he gave me the, you know, the 90 location code. I saw it was 420 miles, which I know I can do in a solo shift. That way I don't, you know, upset my students' 34-hour reset. So, you know, I let them know. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't mind that at all. So, ended up going to go take showers. And then after that, we actually sat down and actually had a sit-down meal, me and my student, at the Iron Skillet. And while we were eating, my fleet manager got back with me, you know, dispatched me on a load, you know, gave me the driver's, you know, phone number, reach out to him because he was driving. You know, at Prime, if you're a solo driver, if you're driving, you can't access your Qualcomm. So I gave that driver a call, let him know who I was, let him know my truck number, let him know that I'm the one that's gonna repower his load. And we kind of worked out where he was gonna meet me, which was here at the Petro. And so talked to him for a little bit about it, and you know, he saw where I was, and he's like, okay, you know, I'll be there in 3 hours. You know, not a problem. I wasn't doing anything anyway. So we finished eating, came back out. You know, me and my student came back out to the truck. I went ahead and jumped ahead of, you know, got ahead of the ball. Went ahead and dropped the trailer. Separated from it. I stayed under it, but I separated the fifth wheel from the apron and the kingpin. That way, you know, the trailer's dropped, but it's still secured because my truck is still backed up to it. I went ahead and dropped it just to be proactive because I didn't want to sit around and, you know, mess around and take a nap or fall asleep. And then the driver calls me like, hey, I'm right outside. And then now I got to rush to, well, not really rush, but I got to move around quickly to drop the trailer so I can get out his way. So, but, you know, my trailer was empty. So, you know, it's not really a huge deal. Like I said, it wasn't a rush. And even this load that we're repowering is not even due until Thursday morning. Is tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. with about 400 miles on it. So I went ahead and was proactive and dropped the trailer early. You know, just sitting around watching TV, watching YouTube. And he calls me when he's 30 minutes away, which is cool. Again, you know, that way I can prepare myself to, you know, swap out and everything. Anyway, fast forward, he calls me, tells me he's in the fuel aisle. I told him, you know, I'm the only Bob. I separated from the truck entirely and actually parked across from the empty trailer. That way I can continue watching it. Sorry. So I can continue watching it. And he knows I was waiting for him. So he called me, letting me know he was leaving the fuel aisle. I let him know where I was, and he came over and dropped it. So, and this is the part of the story where I'm like, you know, this is the second time this has happened. So earlier, I don't know if you guys remember my last video on Sunday, I actually had a driver repower me, and that was Lyle over there at No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. And so, you know, this driver came and dropped the trailer. He pulled next to my bobtail and dropped the loader trailer, so that way I could, it's easy for me to back under it. And then while he was dropping the trailer, I got out and I went over to the empty trailer because I left my lock on the back of it. That way, you know, no one can mess with the back of it while I was not there, or not there, but no longer connected to it. So I want to remove my lock so that way he can throw his lock under there when he backed under it. So while I'm walking back to, you know, to the driver, to my truck, which is next to the other driver, he asked me, he's like, hey, you know, you're the repower? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you look really familiar. And I was like, I mean, I'm on a lot of Facebook groups, and, you know, I feel like I'm pretty active and, you know, on, you know, trying to be helpful and knowledgeable on the Facebook group. He's like, YouTube, Johnson's Logic. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. You know, it's just a weird thing for me, because, like, you know, I do YouTube for my entertainment, even though it's knowledgeable for you guys and you guys get to see what it's like, you know, in my eyes or get to see like my insight on stuff. Like I do YouTube because I really enjoy doing it. So I'm never prepared when people recognize me from YouTube, and it's like, I don't know, I just become like, you know, a little 3-year-old child, you know, overjoyed for, you know, just being recognized. over something that I already enjoy doing. So I always find that like super cool, because like, you know, my channel's not huge, you know. I think, you know, Junior Honduras has like 80,000 subscribers. Lyle has, I think, roughly about 3,000 now, you know, and a couple other people that I follow. It's always surreal, you know, my small little, you know, 200 subscriber YouTube channel, but I get recognized a lot more often than, you know, than I would imagine that I would, you know. And I like, you know, I like when people come up talking like, hey, you know, I know you too, or Facebook. I know some people recognize me from the Facebook groups when we're having discussions or I'm at a terminal. People come up and ask, you know, and talk to me, and which I implore you guys, like, do that. Like, I enjoy talking to y'all. I think it's fun, it's eye-opening. I get to put a name to a face, you know. This guy, this driver, his name is Mike. He's gonna go by Mike, and the only reason I'm gonna call him Mike, because he also has a YouTube channel. Before I leave to go take this load, I need to get that channel from him again, and I'll put it down below. But he says he used to have a channel before, but he took a break and he's about to start getting back into it. But it's just, you know, it's just a really good feeling when, you know, someone comes up to you, like in this instance, a stranger comes up to you like, hey, I watch your videos on YouTube, and, you know, your videos are, you know, informational and very knowledgeable, you know, you're very helpful. And I just had this through a text conversation on Facebook, on the Facebook Messenger. Someone from our Facebook group, I answered one of his questions that he had, and same thing. He's like, hey, I know you from YouTube. You know, I watch your videos, very knowledgeable and stuff. You know, I see you a lot on the Facebook groups. You know, I just really appreciate your input and your knowledge. And I was like, you know, for me, it's heart, you know, like heartwarming. You know what I mean? It's a good feeling to have that. You know, some of the stuff, like in my case, something that I do for fun is helping people make decisions or doing something that they want to do based off of my experience. You know, it's just really heartwarming feeling. It's very humbling to, you know, be appreciated for something that you're not really striving to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's like accidental gratitude, but it's a really humbling experience, and I really enjoy it, and I really appreciate it. Just like I said in the beginning, like, you know, obviously you guys like something that I put out for me having 200 subscribers, but like I said, I'm really appreciative. Mike, it was a great talking to you. It was great working with you. I'm gonna get your YouTube channel from you before I leave out of here. And if there is a cut in the video, it's because me and Mike, we're talking about it, and I let him know I was going to record a video, and then it started pouring down, raining while we were sitting in our trucks. So I went ahead and started recording just in case, you know, the sun went down and I didn't get a chance to record in the dark. So I went ahead and started recording. Now, if I cut it and it cuts to, you know, me outside, then obviously, you know, me and Mike are going to be on the video together. But if it doesn't, then I'm just going to cut this part out anyway, and that just be it. So, or I just talk for nothing. I probably won't edit it. You guys know how I've been about editing lately. So, yeah, that's it. You know, we've had a great week. I've been recognized or showing appreciation for the stuff that, you know, the content I put out and the knowledge I put out. And shoot, I'm really hoping that this week coming up is going to be a great week. Now coming up, so today's September 2nd. I actually will be at the Prime Springfield terminal. I believe we're going to be there on the afternoon or the evening of September 8th. But I know for sure I'm going to be there September 9th, and we're going to be doing a 34-hour reset. So I know I'll be there either next Tuesday night, because I have a class to take on Wednesday morning, and then we won't be leaving probably until about Thursday. So if you are around at the Springfield terminal and you see me, feel free to come up, talk to me. You know, we can have lunch, dinner. I'm not really a breakfast person while I'm taking the 34, but if I'm in the cafeteria, come say hello. But outside of that, y'all stay safe. Really just stay safe. Like, that's the biggest thing that I've been following on the news lately. And again, no, I don't do politics or news stories on my channel, but just be safe out there. Like there's some crazy people, and I've had the misfortune of reading some crazy stories lately. So y'all just be safe for sure. Watch each other's backs, and you know what the old timers say: keep the rubber side down, the shiny side up. Y'all take it easy.